doing?
Well, Mitch, this is a surprise. What can I do for you?
Actually, I'm about on my way out the door to go over and see Alex at the hospital, but there's something I have to talk to you about first.
Well, can it wait? I really don't have much time right now.
Well, I'm afraid what I have to talk to you about concerns your building. Some new facts have come to light since last we talked.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the lease, is there? I mean, you said everything was in order.
Well, that I did, and I was telling you the truth. But there's been a couple of interesting new developments since then.
Well, what new developments? Look, if something's wrong, tell me about it.
There's been a change in ownership on your building.
Wait, what sort of change did you say, Mitch? You sound so mysterious.
Charles Carpenter has assumed ownership of that building, and it's just possible that he's got plans to tear it down and construct some other buildings.
Excuse me, Mitch, but things are really crazy around here right now. Now, what were you saying about the building?
I said that Charles Carpenter may have some plans for that building that may conflict with your plans.
Well, how can he do that, Mitch? I've got a lease. I mean, you said yourself there were no problems.
My boy, when you are Charles Carpenter, anything is possible, and usually is, one way or another.
Hello, Mitch. What can I do for you? The secretary said you had some papers for me.
That's right, Alex. I have here a subpoena in order to obtain all the medical records pertaining to Jeff Cummins.
Well, sit down. Now, just what is all this supposed to mean?
Well, we need those records in order to support our petition. You know about the action that Liz has taken.
Yeah? Mitch, of course you realize that what you're trying to do is highly controversial.
I've been involved in controversy all my life. Besides, I'm only trying to save a man's life.
I know how you feel. You made that quite clear to me a couple of days ago. Well, Mitch, there's a lot of controversy surrounding a patient's right to die. Now, Jeff Cummings has refused treatment, and he has the right to do just that.
Suppose he has. But what about his wife's right to have a husband? And what about the darling little daughter? Doesn't she have the right to have her daddy as long as she can?
Well, now you're getting into a family's right as opposed to the patient's right.
And where do you draw the line?
Well, I don't know.
I can't sit back and watch a man lie around waiting to die, and his family has to sit there and watch. It isn't right. No, that man should have more fight. He owes that to him.
Mitch, I agree with you, but we can't always interfere. Now, in cases such as this, the will to live has a remarkable effect upon the patient. But first, and it's a big first, he has to want to live.
All right. What do you do with a man like Jeff Cummins?
Well, number one, you get him to accept the treatment, and then you offer him some hope.
Can you do that?
No, Mitch, I'm afraid I can't. The hope in this case is so minimal that it just wouldn't be fair to him. And even if you get that court order for the treatment, without that will to live, you just may as well be treating an empty bed for all the good it's going to do you.
I expect you're right. So is Jeff. And so is Liz. Who's right is more right? God only knows.
Hi, honey.
Mom, I didn't know you were home. I thought you were working.
It's my day off. I'll bet even Florence Nightingale had some time off to herself.
Oh, so now you're Florence Nightingale?
Oh, you know what I mean. Everybody needs a little time off to relax, read a good book, get some things done around the house.
I thought Dad was taking care of that.
Bite your tongue. I don't think we can afford to have your father help us out much longer. I mean, he's already gotten us into an electrical blackout and more than one kitchen disaster.
Oh, Mom, he's only trying to help. Besides, I get a kick out of him around the house. He really does try.
You know what? It would break his heart to hear us talking about his handiwork like this, but I can't help it. Every time he takes an electrical job on, he seems to make the thing worse than it was before. Do you remember that can opener in the kitchen? Well, he says he's going to have it ready in a couple of days, but I happen to know that he's hidden it away in the garage so that I won't see the mess he's in. I wonder how he's going to talk himself out of that one.
Oh, well, it's a good thing that Mitch came by the other day. Otherwise, I don't know what we would have had for dinner.
Well, it just goes to show the Lord provides for us.
Where is Dad? I thought he was around here somewhere.
Wouldn't you know? I'd have a day off, and he's spending the day out of town. You know, if I'd known I was going to have this day off, I could have gone with him. Believe me, Laurie, I'd rather spend a day curled up with your father than reading a book anytime.
Good morning. Well, here I am, all ready to start the day.
Well, have yourself a cup of coffee first.
Okay.
And let's get started.
Is this it?
That's it. You have a lot to learn about county and city ordinances and rules and regulations. We get a lot of phone calls every day, and you're going to have to be able to handle your share of them as soon as possible.
Are you sure this is all? I mean, I wouldn't want to miss out on one, would I?
Really, it's not as bad as it seems. I bet it's a lot easier than the broadcasting business.
A lot more secure, too.
If you do your job. There are no free rides for friends or family.
Hey, listen, Sam, I'm sorry. You know I will handle my share, and no one will have to carry a load on my account.
Okay, let's get started. First, you have to become familiar with the manuals so that you can reference them when you get a call. I'll have the girls give you a few trial calls to help you familiarize yourself with things when you get ready.
It's okay with me, but I might make a mistake. What if I give out the wrong information?
Don't worry, I'll be here if you get in a bind. Everything will come naturally.
Okay. Whatever you say, you're the boss.
Look, I'll have the secretary screen a couple of easy ones for you if you'd like. Just let me know when you're ready.
Well, I might as well start now as long as I've got these books and points of reference.
Okay, you're on.
Sam! Zoning department, may I help you?
Yes, I'd like to get some zoning information on some property I've recently acquired.
Okay, sir. We'll need to get a little information from you. One moment here, please. Yes, sir. We'll need your name.
Carpenter. Charles Carpenter.
You know, what seems to be the problem? Are you experiencing any pain or unusual symptoms?
Oh, no, Doctor. I've just been having a lot of stress and strain and having a terrible time sleeping at nights. And then, of course, the next day I'm completely worn out.
Well, is there anything in particular that you think might be contributing to these problems? Any recent emotional stress?
No, Doctor, I've told you. It's just that I can't sleep at night, and you just need to give me something to help.
Now, Miss Mason, in order for me to treat you properly, you must be perfectly honest with me.
Oh, very well. I've just gone through a very messy divorce, and because of that, I can't seem to sleep at nights. Now, does that really help you?
Mrs. Mason, if you continue with this type of attitude, I'll have no recourse but to suggest that you see another physician.
I'm sorry, Doctor. I apologize. It's my nerves, you see. It's this lack of sleep. I mean, if I couldn't sleep at night, you'd think I'd be able to catnap during the day, wouldn't you? But I can't. So I really need you to be able to do something to help me.
I think we can, Mrs. Mason.
Oh, please. Please, Doctor, call me Miriam if we're going to be a doctor-patient relationship. After all, I'm no longer Mrs. Mason.
Very well, Miriam. In any case, I think what you need is a complete physical checkup. And I can schedule one of those for you within the next couple of days.
Doctor, that really won't be necessary. You see, all I really need is just a prescription for Valium and perhaps one for Dexedrine, just until my body adjusts to sleeping again.
Miriam, those are controlled drugs, and I never prescribe them without first doing a complete physical examination.
Well, I've never heard of such a thing. My doctor in Lake Forest would always give me a prescription without any hassle. In fact, he would usually even ask me how many I felt I needed. And why do you have to be any different?
Well, Mrs. Mason, I suggest you ask your doctor in Lake Forest.
Who is it?
It's me, Francis.
Oh, hi, Francis. Come on in.
Hi, Lori. How are you? I heard you were moving back in today, and I took the chance that I'd run into you. How you doing?
Just fine, thanks. Just fine.
Lori, I'm worried about Becky. I don't like what she's doing. I don't like the way she's acting. I don't know what to do.
Francis, I'm sorry. I know how you must feel, but there isn't anything I can do.
Well, I thought that maybe you could talk to her. I mean, if anyone can, it's you.
Francis, I'm sorry. Really, I've tried, and it just doesn't seem to help.
But, Lori, surely you could say something.
No! I'm sorry. Becky's just going to have to find her own answers. I'll need to find a new roommate. I guess I'll put an ad in the school paper. I'm not really sure what's the best way.
I know. You never know who's going to answer those ads either. I mean, you don't know who's going to show up on your doorstep, and how do you decide who's the best? It's a hassle.
Well, anyway, it's really great to be back in school. I've really missed it.
If I'd been gone a while, I don't think I'd be so anxious to get back in. Sometimes school really grosses me out. Besides, according to Mother, I'm only here to find a nice doctor.
Well, maybe, but I'm here for an education. I'm planning on becoming a clinical psychologist, and there isn't a thing I can think of that's going to change my mind. Becky, hi. Got a minute?
I gotta go, Lori. I'll see you.
Did you move all your stuff back in the room?
Yeah. I started putting things away, but it felt so great to be back. I thought I'd just take a walk around the campus, kind of reacclimate myself to things.
Laura, I gotta go. I got class.
Becky, look, I'm really sorry. The argument was my fault.
No.
I'm to blame. Please forgive me.
Laura, I'm confused too. I feel bad about what happened, you know, with Ross, but
please don't worry about it. I want you to know that I understand. Even though I can't agree, I do understand.
Believe it when you called me.
I just had the most frustrating morning of my life. Absolutely.
Should have shot for more comfortable shoes.
I haven't been shopping. I've been all over the city trying to find some meaningful employment.
Your mother was serious.
Even Father can't seem to talk any sense into me. I'd like to see her get a job.
Well, where have you tried?
7 places. They all offer such disgusting money.
Tell me about it.
I just don't see how poor people can afford to work. And the offices are such drab little places.
You want a cocktail? Double martini and screwdriver.
And then this one short one. Oh, heaven, you have the nerve to ask me for references.
I hope you gave him my name.
Thank you, Mimi. I'll be certain to remember. Well, tell me, what have you been up to lately?
Thinking of you. And I've been looking for a job myself. Hey, you know, I'm flexible. You name it, I can do it.
Well, if you happen to run across a position requiring more qualifications,
how'd you like to work for me one day?
Well, I don't think we'd get much work done, do we?
All work and no play.
Just the kind of jobs I've been finding around here. I mean, I want a fun job if I've got to.
Well, have you tried an employment agency? An agency that helps you to find a job, you know, saves you from hoofing it all over town.
Oh, that's marvelous. Thank you, Norma. Thank you. Oh, you can be very helpful.
I'm always at your service.
You know, trying to find a job has just been so stressful. I get headaches, and at night I just can't sleep. I can't seem to feel relaxed when I'm on these interviews. I'm drained all the time.
Just pop a few tranquilizers. Oh, you want me to get you some pills, right?
Could you? No, I wouldn't ask. Except, at this point, I just can't afford to go back on the criminal cost.
Norm to the rescue. Again.
I promise you.
Samantha Marshall, it's nice to see you. How have you been? Are you keeping all the county builders up on their toes?
Well, I can't just let anybody put up any old building in our fair city.
It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
And that's why I'm here. I've acquired some new property, and I'd like to develop it. I'd like to remove some of the construction that's there and start from scratch.
Well, let's take a look at what you have.
Good. Here we are.
Now, what is it you'd like to know?
Well, as I said before, I'd like to demolish all the buildings that are on there right now and put up a shopping center. And naturally, it would be a bit more modern and certainly have a lot of shops.
I see. And you want to know what the city would think about it?
Exactly.
Okay.
I'd like to find out what zoning restrictions there are, if any, before I make my financial commitments.
Sam, here are the zoning ordinances you asked about earlier. Oh, excuse me.
That's all right. Mr. Carpenter and I were just going over some zoning changes.
I think it might be better if I came back another time. Thanks very much, Samantha.
You're welcome. Jean, I'd like to speak to you, please. I don't know what's going on between you and Charles Carpenter, but he just left out of here like his house was on fire. What is with you two?
It's nothing that really concerns the county, Sam. It's a personal thing.
If it affects the plans, then it affects me directly, and that is more than personal.
All right, Carpenter's daughter brought a suit against her husband and the daughter of a friend of mine.
Jean, you cannot let it affect your work here. You are on probation for 90 days. The Civil Service Board is not known for its sense of humor.
Sam, I'm sorry. But if anyone has a right to worry, it's me, not you or the county, okay?
Good. Worried means careful. Let's keep it that way.
Hi, Jeff. How are you feeling?
Terrific. Want to watch the sunset? You never know. It might be my last.
If it is, it's your own choice. You could come home, you know. Dr. Greeley would allow it.
Well, just when do I leave? When they put me in a box marked loser?
Jeff, don't say that. You are nothing of the kind. Look, I brought you something that Jennifer made. See? It says, "To my daddy. I love you very much. Come home soon."
How is Jennifer? Everything okay? She know what's going on?
She knows her daddy's in the hospital.
I just wish she didn't have to be involved in any of this.
Jeff, Jenny and I aren't going to let you just sit here and feel sorry for yourself. If that's what you want, fine, but it is not what we want. It's time that you realize that the only thing standing between you and recovery is your own stubborn self.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Become a laboratory animal for the nice doctors? What do they do for me? I'll tell you what they do. They give me 3 or 4 more months to hang on, and what for? I'd like to see one of them come in here and take my place.
I would, Jeff.
Oh, I don't know. I can't think. I'm scared. For once in my life, I can't think of a way out.
Jeff, if you'd only let them start the radiation therapy that they've talked to you about, won't you just consider...
I'm not going to let them shoot those things into me, Liz. I know what it does. Hair falling out, sick all the time? No way. It's the point of living. If I'm not a man, I'd rather be dead.
Well, what about me and Jenny? Don't we count? Are you only thinking about yourself? I'm sorry. Jeff, I love you so much.
There's just no way I'm going to let you or anybody else talk me into those treatments, Liz. If the surgery didn't work, what good is the therapy going to do? I'll just forget it and tell them they can quit trying to get me to do it. It won't work.
Jeff, I'll do anything that I have to. Whatever it takes.
What do you mean, you'll do whatever you have to?
I told you before, I talked to Mitch Dunbar, and if you won't do it voluntarily, then we'll take you to court and have you declared mentally incompetent. Like it or not, someone has to keep you alive.